meeting, what we're going to work on, and we already started this morning, is really laying out the shares, how people can invest, the partnerships, how it all works. So we're nailing all that out today, so it's very clear for our new guests that are coming tomorrow, which will receive an email that's going to have like guidelines. So we want to have like this kind of, you know, opening greeting. Here's some like ABQ, ASC guidelines. Here's the current projects. Like they're gonna like really understand what's going on here. Also, we're looking to build out the bigger picture. We're very clear that we see a sea of light here in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
And with Victoria and Ray, they have some pretty high-level connections. And if it was ever accessible to begin a city of light, it's possible right now, right here. And so we're going to start building out this business plan over the next month and preparing to actually meet with the mayor and the city, who's ready to invest a couple $100 million into this area. And Ray and I in March are going to go super hard and finding out all the startup tech and venture capitalists, and there's a huge tech scene getting ready to build some momentum, and we want to be like a part of. Yeah, we want to be a part of that.
Albuquerque's identified as a tech city currently, and that's something that Ray has been a part of for the last few years in creating further development. Hi, everybody.
Hi. Good to see you, Victoria.
Yeah, there I am. Anyhow, so these are what Amber's talking about are things that we've only begun to touch on with you, Dakota, but as Amber and Ray and I have been developing rapport, the bigger scope of what Albuquerque brings to the table has begun to really emerge. These are things that have already been present, but they've been kind of hanging around in the sidelines waiting for their opportunity to snap into existence in a very tangible way for our groups, our collectives.
Cool.
Yes.
There's a lot snapping into place right now.
Oh my God, so much. And speaking of business plans, I've been working on the ASC business plan. And
You read my mind, Amber. I was just about to ask about that.
so I know we're having a meeting again in like 2 days, right? Wednesday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll be ready to present it on Wednesday.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, it's so nice. And then working, just to wrap it up, been working with Aon. We've been going through every single Slack channel and making sure we get every single person, and just making sure that they've either been mentored or they've been put in the right group, or, you know, there's a resource there that it's a website we want to look at and really see how it ties in, and just making clear everything that's come in, that nothing got missed, because now, you know, we're taking a new step and a new phase, and things are going to unroll rapidly, and we want to make sure that we're up to date with the abundance that came in for us.
Yeah, 277 people in our Slack channel now. Quite a lot.
Wow. Yes, that's quite impressive. Wow.
Yeah.
Good job. And so yeah, we're gonna have a business plan for Albuquerque. I'll be doing mini decks that tie in for the ASC business plan. We'll have a mind map for Albuquerque, and yeah, man, we're moving right along.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Amber.
Yeah, you're right.
I am. Victoria, if you wanted to give us a minute to 2 minutes to just do like an executive summary of the Love Farm project. And yeah, that would be great.
Well, good. I'm glad you want to know, because that's what I spent some time preparing for.
Yeah. We're so on the same page.
Yeah. So the general overview, which I can provide digitally soon, like tomorrow, probably. Our form.
She cutting out for you too? You're cutting out, yeah. Victoria.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened. Something happened, Ray.
Oh, it's back, I think. Hi.
Hi. So the overview is that we have several properties. We have the what we call the Love Farm, which is a collection of 6 homes and a studio, as well as a shop and 1,800 square feet of workspace, which is under construction or in progress. It's ready to be completed. And there are various things that we can talk about with regard to this particular location. The Love Farm also has a bunch of needs in terms of our permaculture and farming. Biodynamic farm needs some attention, and would love to have some hands-on. And it looks like we're getting some skilled labor coming in the next 24 or 48 hours, which is pretty great. All of the 6 houses that are on this particular street are all occupied by people who are committed to this project in some form or another. So they're either members of the ASC or they're members of the Garden Community Project, which is the bigger entity that we've been creating housing under, primarily housing. And a practical, sustainable model for living. So that's something we've actually been working on for about 15 years, the model of sustainable living that we practice here. So we included in the Garden Community Project, as in addition to the Love Farm, we have Grandma's Garden, which is 4 homes. I'm sorry, let's see. Yes, it's 4 homes and another very large, almost 4,000 square foot workshop warehouse, which is partially built out. There's also gardens and permaculture, hugel culture, grapevines, chicken pens and animal containment or yards, as well as forage area. And it's both of the properties that I just mentioned are all ditch irrigated, which means we have water rights as well as functional wells and underground rights. And then we have the Perry Farm, which is under development. There are people who live there, and I should say, in those houses at Grandma's Garden, they are all currently occupied with people who are involved in the Garden Community Project. And they will be housing people who are in the Albuquerque version or Albuquerque entity of the ASC as well. The Perry Farm is a collection of 3 houses and a small kind of partially functional, meaning it has facilities, RV. And that's under development. We have a lot of potential there. It's a big piece of land with water. There's well water. There's a big open space there that really is just begging for us to come and love on it and bring some life to it. And then there's New Dawn, which is a collection of 2 homes, one fully functioning with facilities and plumbing and all of this. They're both rural, very rural, about 30 miles from Albuquerque. The other places are all within a couple of blocks of each other. The New Dawn project is in this very nice, beautiful, and there's plenty of living space. There's all of it's pretty rustic, but there's a main house that has all the facilities anybody would want to have in order to live there. It's shut down for the winter, but we're right now developing our plan for getting that back up and ready for spring and summer inhabitation. And what am I leaving out, guys? Is there anything else I can tell you about it? We could really, right now, if you want to know what we could use in terms of people resources, we could really, who are familiar with farming, permaculture and biodynamics in particular, and some maybe a skilled laborer, someone who's familiar with carpentry, people who don't mind getting their hands dirty. And some nurturing mama types would be really awesome too. I think we could definitely host somebody like that. And we're also, and something that I really want to kind of keep reminding anyone who's listening, that Albuquerque, as well as being a hub for the City of Light projects that we're spreading out into the whole of this known universe here, we in Albuquerque are really welcoming anyone who's interested and currently available to development. So software programmers and code writers, I think those are both the same thing. I'm not one of them. So
cool.
I know what I hear. And so
that's a great summary. Thank you, Victoria. Very well said.
And, yay. Nice to see you guys, see your faces. Where's that other face?
Yeah, glad you showed up too, Victoria. I hope you keep coming to these. Your presence adds a lot to what we're creating.
We were talking a bit about that, and we were talking about how what we're doing here is pretty intensive. We have a lot of meetings already on the ground, and so we would really like to be able to consolidate the updates like this to maybe 1 or 2 per week for the next couple of weeks, and then just down to 1 per week after that, because the 3 of us particularly are all very much engrossed in many other meetings and developments, and so we'd like to pop in when we're needed. And I know Ray may have some more to say about that with regard to his, what's needed from him in terms of being present to meetings and to answer questions about the project that he's working on.
Cool. We'll get into all that in the future, and now let's get to the next point. So thank you very much, Victoria. Yeah, once a week will be great.
Cool.
I just wanted to add on to what Victoria was saying, and just mentioning that Victoria's family has been in the area for many decades. And they're very well grounded into where they are. They're like very deeply allied with like so many people in Albuquerque. It is such a great place for us to put a ton of energy because we're deeply aligned with the land, and that is a beautiful thing. Ray, I'll give you a moment to speak when we get to the tech part, I think. If you don't mind waiting a second, I'm going to wrap up on what's going on in our other properties. Oh, that's not the right screen share. Let's see. Okay. So that's going on in New Mexico. And in general, right now, New Mexico is like our entry headquarters. So if you're new to us, if you're not already like recognized, identified, and trusted by the inner council of the ASC, and you want to play with us in person, New Mexico is going to be where you want to go. Unless you'd like to go out of the country, and then Terra Frutis is also open to anyone who wants to be vegan and who passes like a basic internet sanity test. In California, we are collaboratively developing a square mile in Joshua Tree that already has quite a bit of infrastructure on it. However, we're not really actively doing a project there since it needs more investment capital funding. But we'll have that soon, and then want to start really developing this space since it's right next to Los Angeles. Right now, myself and Leela Starr, along with Christopher Bird, or Christopher Van Putten, are here on the ground at this gorgeous community called Our Sacred Acres. Check this out. Hold on, I'll stop the screen share. Take a look at this. Woo! Yeah, it's gorgeous out here. And it just feels super yummy good. Our Sacred Acres has been part of like collective consciousness community for quite some time. And actually, Bird, do you want to just give us like 2 to 3 minutes about Our Sacred Acres and whatever you'd like to talk about it?
Yeah. So the land here is about an hour north of Seattle. Most of the area is regrowth from the initial logging that happened about 120 years ago. And so this area is pretty much untouched since then. There's a creek that flows around it, so it's It's in the hills up from one of the valleys that flows into the Salish Sea, and salmon also jump into it, and so I've helped create some of the fertility that this area is so well known for. The land here has been owned or stewarded for about 8 years. It's been more grown into an intentional community over the last 4 or so years. That's been through the main efforts by a person named Danny Kennedy. She helped with Jamaica Stevens to write Re-Inhabiting the Village book, and has worked on a variety of other projects. Last year started doing a lot of stuff with Wildlight, Polish ambassador, and Ela Nero, catalyzing their regenerative action days. And so for the last year or so, she's moved on from projects just on this land and catalyzing intentional community here to more global activities, and has tried a variety of different kinds of ways of leading the project and different stewardship, but now is at actually is expected back like this evening, and she's in Seattle right now. So I get to help pick her up and hang out this evening, because she just got back from Standing Rock. Just is getting back from Standing Rock today, actually. So now gets to be the time of transition into a co-governance structure that she's envisioned for a long time, into the Flower of Life Society Church and the ASC structure, and also kind of allow that to blossom the visions that have always been spoken from the trees here and the land through the people of Anika Village, that helps to focus on the healing power of music. Yeah.
Woo! Woo! Yeah. And it's thank you, Bird. That was a great description.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I want to add to that and say that this is like arguably the most gorgeous place I've ever been in my life. I've been to a couple nicer places that usually charge like thousands of dollars a night, and that's been about it. This is such a yummy, beautiful place, and there's so much nature here. There's like beautiful creek and woodland, and there's this like there's like 2 epic super trees here that are made out of like anywhere between a dozen to like 30 or 40 trees, like all combined into like a tree god. And it's great. I love it here. Really hoping that it aligns well with Danny. And it seems and feels like it will. So yeah, that is what's happening here. Meow. Thank you, Bird. So, and then there's also the property in Brazil that Daniela in here is connected to. It's funny, another Daniela. Danny has like the Washington property, and Daniela has the Brazil one. I think we're running a little bit short on time though, so we're going to skip past the land development. And this meeting might even run over into a double. We'll see. So into tech dev now. So for those that missed it the first time around, we have a mobile application. This mobile application is the stupid, simple version of our online user interface. It's just got submitted to Amazon, Google Play, and the iOS store. It usually takes them a couple of weeks to review, but in a couple of weeks, we will have our application available for download all over the place, to really put it at a point where we can actually have something that's adopted by the public. I am requesting help for 2 things in particular. The first is graphics. We need some more graphics people. Daniel was our graphics guy and is no longer with us. So there's something of a need for that skill set within what we're doing now. The other one is basically all of our videos, every announcement, every spiritual meditation, every video that's been put into our Slack needs to be uploaded to YouTube and then put into our mobile application. And that's just those are 2 things that I would love some help with if anyone wanted to sign up for that. And then we have the weighted voting system and permissionable sharing applications. Raymond, would you like to speak on that for a second? How are we doing on the weighted voting system, brother?
Yeah, hey, so this is what Victoria was talking about with developers being needed in Albuquerque. If you want to be part of the development process here, we're looking to roll out a beta in 5 weeks, a usable beta. So this group may be using weighted voting via that. And this is just the scratching the surface, the full scope of what this project will be, which is full digital governance capabilities for any type of intentional community, collective business. So having a huge scope that is fundamental to the new Earth. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you want to be part of the development team, we'd love to have you on site here. So consider stopping by, and I guess we'll stop in and update this group once a week on our progress.
Development or support to development.
Yeah. So yeah, sure. I mean, I happen to have 3 kids, so the support I have in terms of childcare here on site is critical, and we're putting together a real happy group of community members here. So
yeah.
Cool. Glad you're back, Ray.
Yep. Glad to be back.
Ray's been with us for around half a year now, and recently took about a month off to be with his family, and our tech development kind of just halted when he left because he's the tech director, and glad that you were back. Anything on the permissionable sharing application, Ray? Has there been any research done on how easy it is to do that?
Refresh me on your question, Dakota.
So right now we are sharing media either through our main system where we need private account credentials that freak most people out, or we do it through Deliver It, but it's not like a good solution. How difficult would it be to make an application that, someone just clicks on a link, and then they approve it through Facebook, and then we start posting to their timeline, 3 times a day? How difficult do you think the development of that would be?
I can't answer that on the spot, but let's get our heads together right after this meeting if you want.
All right. It's a plan. Thank you, brother.
Okay. Cool.
Ciao. All right. So kind of like headlines into the media part. So we've been doing a lot on the media recently. We're making huge waves. We're reaching hundreds of thousands of people with our message. And we're starting to get actually consistent sales. Every time we do a sponsored promotional, we sell at least one, and are even selling multiple things now off of each sponsored post. So I'm glad that's working, and people are finally valuing us with a little bit of their USD. So if you want to help, that'd be great. This is the easiest way for everyone to play with us right now. Anyone can do either of these 2 things. So the first part is creating media. We're doing 2 to 3 posts a day right now. And so far, Leela and I have made every single post. We've made like 200 of them or something. And it would be great to have some help in this. So we're looking for things that are solutions. Generally looking for videos, like short, sweet videos with like subtitles on them. There's an art to making media in social media form. That art is generally a 3 to 9 sentence summary with a hook line statement and then an interaction statement. So hook line statement is like, do you believe in magic? Or like, are you in alignment with love? Or just something that like people read it and then they want to read more about it, right? And then the other element is share this video or share this article or comment on this article if something else. That's called a comment, like an interaction hook. So we're looking for solutions, like humans doing really cool stuff. Music, very high quality, very conscious music. Technology stuff, blockchain stuff on any of our allies, and aligned promotionals. So that's stuff where if people click on the link and then buy something, we get money. But it's something that is cool and beneficial, like the Guardian Alliance or Health Force, or something that's actually good for people. We're not like selling shoes here unless they're like psychedelic, sustainable, glow in the art dragon shoes. We would sell those. So you can go to asc.ai/share-media if you want to submit a media article to us, and we are awarding a lot of shares for this since it's what we need right now. The other element is propagating it. So we have a pretty much one-of-a-kind system where we can propagate media to any page, any place on the internet, any group, basically, automatically. To do that, we need account credentials. Your account credentials are stored in a very secure database, and I'm the only one that has access to it pretty much. If you don't feel comfortable sharing account credentials, you can go and do it through the Deliver It network, which it isn't quite as optimal because we can't share videos. And when you do it this way, you basically, it shows up as like a little like 2-sentence hook that links to a full post. So it's not optimal, but it's what we have. And my page isn't loading right now, so I guess I'm not supposed to go too far into that. That's okay. If you want to connect your account through Deliver It, it takes like 3 minutes. Super simple. So there's a couple other things that everyone can help with right now. So if you want to link your account to our main system, we can send out an automated message to every single person you know, telling them about the ASC, about our media program, and inviting them to participate in it. So right now, our media is the easiest way for people to play with us. All you need to do is say yes, and then we start awarding shares to you based on how many followers you have and for every post we put out. Right now, if you have like from 0 to 500 followers, you're getting the equivalent of about $27 a month in shares. If you have 2,000 followers, it's more like $104 and so on. Yeah, so if you want to send messages, right now there's about a half dozen of us that are sending a message to every single person we know, inviting them to play in the ASC in this way. And the way we're setting that up in the like share metrics is, if you choose to like encourage people to participate in the media campaign, you gain 11% of their media shares, basically. Something that's been really hot, and this will help us generate more revenue, is putting sponsored posts into groups. And then we have a system that goes in and puts that post to the top of the group every day, 1 to 2 times a day. Something that I think we all want more of right now is money, right? And the way our stewardship pool system works is when we have money in the pool, any of us can request access to it. So if we get more support here on our digital advertising sales, that'll expand the pool for all of us to be able to request access from. This kind of thing is really easy for everyone to spend an hour or two doing that will generate money for the ASC indefinitely over time. So would love some help with that. More details on that in the Bump It channel. The other element is representatives. So I bought this super badass server. I was running all of our AI stuff off of my laptop, which is like a super laptop. It's like 4 computers in one, but I bought this really badass server that's like more than 10 times as powerful as this one. And we have way more capacity right now. So representatives are another way that we can start generating more tangible, impactful value for our collective. So this is an example that one of our people made 3 or 4 days ago. It's very new. So this is an example of a representative. It's Ambassador Lucid. So we're talking about who we are here, couple taglines, and basically this account will automatically post all of our stuff. And then it automatically likes stuff and follows people, basically. And then if someone follows back, it sends them a direct message and then it mentions them. So in the last 4 days, we've gotten 14 followers from this, free. So those are 14 interactions that led to our website. So all 14 of those people went to our website and checked it out. We made another version on Instagram. And this one, actually, Instagram has higher rates. We've gotten 39 followers here in 4 days. So in 4 days, we've gotten 60 people to become aware of the ASC automatically through creating these 2 profiles. My intention is to have thousands of these profiles online so we can just start reaching to everyone on the internet about what we're doing. And I could really use some help with this. It's pretty easy, but it takes me an hour to just do this. And since I can do some really high-end stuff that no one else can do, it would help me a lot if you guys did some of the basic stuff anyone could do. But, I'll just keep doing this all myself if that's how it wants to be. But then I'll also be putting most of the profits from it into the stuff I want it to go to. So the more help I get in this stuff, then the more money there will be in the shared stewardship pool for all of us to access. So we've been working on this online consciousness superstore for forever. We have over 200 epic, amazing products at this point. And we need a new storefront. Ray, who's finally back online, can help us set that up. And that's actually something I'd like to have done in the next couple days. So we're going to just host it wherever right now, but eventually we're going to have asc.store and basically have an online consciousness superstore that specializes in sustainable, ethical, expanding, ascension-oriented products and services. Our mobile application actually has a store built into it already, and there's a whole input thing that needs to happen with that. So that's just like basic administration stuff if you want to help with that too. As far as our church status is going on, we're looking at putting a bunch of land into the Flower of Life Society Church, using that to get investment funding. And we're going to very soon here have a canvassing program. So whoever wants to do canvassing in their area, we can just send you some materials and you can hit the streets and make good money. Save the Children gets hundreds of millions of years from canvassing. It's very effective. Ryugen was a very effective Save the Children canvasser, and that's where he and I met. And I don't think we have too much time to talk about it today, but that's something that's getting worked on. So as far as administration, there's a lot that needs doing, and Nika was our main administrator, and she is also no longer with us. I am our other main administrator, and there's just basically a lot of reports that need evaluating and shares that need assigning. As it is right now, this stuff just isn't going to get done unless someone wants to help with it. So anyone who wants to help do some number crunching and some spreadsheets and some data extraction and input, that would be a huge help for us right now, so we can stay on top of this new paradigm bureaucratic system. And then the final note, which actually I'm going to start another meeting right after this for those that want to show up, is on interconnected collectives, which is something we're really focusing on right now. So when you play with us, you can play with the ASC as an individual inside of the individual ASC system using ASC shares, governance and resource shares. But there's another option. Anyone can form their own interconnected collective. And which is like a version of the ASC. And then we can set up these collectives to have agreements with each other where we share what we have. And then people will have an option. So like you as an individual, you can be part of the ASC collective, or you can be part of the Sovereign Abundance Alliance collective, which is my technology company. You can also be a part of the Digital Sovereign Nation Support Services, which is a subsidiary of my company, or the whole ASC. I encourage people to make their own collectives and kind of establish how people can play and what the gains are for playing with that particular collective, which I understand is happening at the Love Farm. We're about out of time, so thank you for showing up, everyone. For people that want to learn more about interconnected collectives, please chime in about 5 minutes. There'll be another link on our announcements channel. So much love. Thank you all for showing up yet again. I look forward to all the